Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a huge shift in how presentations get made. I mean, forget all the clicking and dragging and formatting nightmares. We are diving deep into the world of presentations as code. And trust me, it's about to change how you think about slide decks.
Just let that sink in for a second. Imagine, instead of you spending hours tweaking text boxes and wrestling with brand colors, you could just say what you want and poof, a perfect on-brand presentation just appears. This isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. It's what tools like Marp are making real right now.
But you know, to really get why this is so amazing, we've got to talk about the problems we all deal with today. Let's dig into why our current presentation tools often feel like they're working against us.
Come on, we've all been there, right? Nudging a logo 1 pixel to the left, then back again. Fighting with a master template that just won't cooperate. And you just know there's no way to automatically pipe in the latest sales data. These old-school, what you see is what you get editors, well, they just weren't built for the world of automation we live in now.
And look, this isn't just some random idea for presentations. It's part of a much bigger trend that's been sweeping across the tech world. We already manage our servers with code, our infrastructure with code, so it only makes sense that we'd start doing the same thing for our presentations, bringing them into a world where they're reliable, trackable, and version-controlled.
So what's the answer? Well, it's a tool called Marp, and its whole philosophy is just beautifully simple. It's all about separating what you want to say from how it looks. You get to focus on your story, on your message, and you let the computer handle all the design work. So at its heart, Marp is this whole ecosystem built around one simple concept. You take plain text written in Markdown, which, let's be honest, a ton of us already use for notes and docs, and it instantly, like magic, turns that text into a super polished, professional-looking presentation.
And getting started is ridiculously easy. Seriously, you just write your content like you're typing an email. And when you want a new slide, you just type 3 little dashes on a new line. That's it. The learning curve is practically non-existent. It's so intuitive.
So here's what that looks like in practice. You're just using standard Markdown, stuff you already know. A couple of hashtags for a title, a dash for a bullet point. The whole thing is clean, it's simple, and it lets you keep your brain focused on your message, not on menus and formatting tools.
And here's the payoff. With literally zero design effort on your part, that simple text becomes this, a perfectly formatted, totally professional slide. The theme, the fonts, the colors, the layout, it's all just done, automatically.
Okay, now this is where it gets really, really cool. This whole text-first approach isn't just a nice little convenience for us humans. Nope, it is the absolute #1 key to unlocking AI-powered presentation creation.
Think about it, right? An AI can't just open up PowerPoint and start clicking and dragging things around. But what is it amazing at? Generating structured text, like Markdown. Marp basically creates a common language, a lingua franca, that lets an AI build a perfect presentation every single time.
And the difference in efficiency here is just staggering. When you have an AI-generated presentation using Markdown, it uses up to 80% fewer tokens, which are kind of like the words that AIs think with. That means the whole process is way faster, way cheaper, and you can create much more complex presentations automatically.
So this sets up a fully automated pipeline. You can just give an AI a simple prompt, something like, hey, create a deck on our Q3 sales numbers. The AI writes all the content as Markdown, and then a simple command line tool takes that text and boom, spits out a finished PowerPoint or PDF, all ready to go.
Now you might be thinking this all sounds a bit basic, but Marp is so much more than a simple converter. It's actually a full-blown ecosystem that's packed with professional-level tools, giving you all the control you need right when you need it.
It's all built in these smart layers. You've got the Marp framework at the very bottom doing the heavy lifting, then Marp Core adds things like themes, but for most of us, the real magic is in 2 places. The VS Code extension, which gives you this awesome live preview as you type, and the Marp CLI. The CLI is the true Swiss Army knife here. It powers all the automation and lets you export to whatever format you need.
And for any of you who have to do technical presentations, this is an absolute game changer. Marp has math typesetting built right in. You can just write complex latex equations directly in your text, and they show up on the slide looking perfectly crisp and beautiful, something that's a real pain to do in most other tools.
Now this is a super important detail when you're exporting to PowerPoint. The default way Marp does it is by turning your slides into high-res images. This is great because it guarantees they will look exactly the same on anyone's computer. There's also this experimental option for editable text, but it's what they call a lossy conversion, which means some of your fancy formatting might get a little wonky. So for those really important presentations where the branding has to be perfect, that standard image-based export is definitely your safest bet.
Now, Marp is fantastic, but it's good to know it's not the only game in town. It's part of this whole presentations as code movement, so it helps to understand where it fits in with the other players. Let's take a quick look.
See, each of these tools kind of has its own specialty. If you're a developer and you want these super interactive, web-based slides, SlideViv is probably your jam. If you're an academic writer who needs to convert a single paper into like 20 different formats, Pandoc is an absolute beast. But for most professionals out there who just need reliable, great-looking exports to things like PowerPoint and PDF, Marp really hits that perfect sweet spot.
And for a business, the advantages here are huge. You can create a single custom theme that locks in your company's branding, and that becomes the one source of truth for how slides should look. Then you can plug that into an automated system so everyone always has the latest version of a presentation. This is how you finally kill the chaos of having 10 different versions of a deck floating around in email.
And that's really what this all boils down to. It doesn't matter if it's a person writing a report or an AI summarizing a bunch of data. Marp acts as the perfect bridge, a simple, super efficient way to turn raw information into a visual story that people can actually understand and connect with.
So I'll leave you with this final thought, which I think really gets to the heart of what Marp is all about. If your content is the story, do you really want your tool to be a complicated design studio that you have to manually paint in, or should it be an automated publisher that just takes your story and delivers it beautifully, instantly, every single time?